Las Vegas is built on constant motion, lights flashing across casino floors, thousands of hotel guests moving through massive resorts, money flowing every second of the day. But in September of 2023, that motion suddenly started breaking down. Slot machines stopped working. Digital room keys failed. Reservation systems crashed. Guests stood in long lines, unable to access hotel rooms or make purchases. And behind the scenes, one of the largest casino companies in the world was scrambling to contain a rapidly unfolding cyber attack. What makes the incident even more unsettling is how the attackers reportedly gained access in the first place. Not through some advanced zero-day exploit, not through sophisticated malware hidden deep inside the network, but through a simple phone call. This is the story of the MGM Resorts cyber attack, and how social engineering helped cripple one of Las Vegas's biggest companies. MGM Resorts is not just a casino company. It operates some of the most recognizable properties in Las Vegas: massive hotels, entertainment venues, restaurants, digital reservation systems, payment infrastructure, customer databases, casino operations, everything connected through complex networks running constantly behind the scenes. And like many modern corporations, MGM relied heavily on digital infrastructure to keep operations moving smoothly. Hotel access systems, employee logins, internal communications, financial processing, customer support systems. All of it depended on technology working without interruption. Because when systems fail in Las Vegas, the disruption becomes visible almost immediately, especially inside massive resorts handling thousands of guests around the clock. But while visitors walked through casinos under neon lights, a cybercriminal group known for aggressive social engineering tactics was reportedly preparing to strike. And according to multiple reports, the attackers weren't trying to brute force their way into MGM's systems. They were targeting something much easier: people. Investigators and cybersecurity researchers later connected the attack to a group associated with social engineering operations. Their strategy was simple: manipulate employees into granting access. Reports indicated the attackers gathered publicly available information online: LinkedIn profiles, corporate details, employee information. Then came the phone call. The attackers allegedly contacted MGM's IT help desk while impersonating an employee. And somehow, they convinced support personnel to provide access credentials or reset authentication processes. Within minutes, the attackers reportedly had a foothold inside MGM's systems. That's what makes social engineering so dangerous. Cybersecurity is often imagined as highly technical hacking: complex code, advanced malware, Hollywood-style attacks. But many real-world breaches begin with psychological manipulation: a convincing voice, urgency, confidence, pretending to belong. Because even highly secured systems can become vulnerable if attackers successfully manipulate human trust. And once access is obtained, the situation can escalate extremely fast. As the intrusion expanded inside MGM's environment, systems across the company reportedly began experiencing major disruptions. Guests started reporting problems almost immediately. Digital room keys stopped functioning correctly. Self-check-in systems failed. Casino services became unstable. Online reservations were impacted. Some guests described long waits at hotel desks as employees attempted to manually process issues during the outage. Inside the company, security teams were now facing an extremely difficult decision: attempt to isolate systems quickly, or risk the attackers spreading further across the network. Eventually, MGM took systems offline in an effort to contain the damage. And when a corporation that large begins shutting down internal infrastructure, the operational consequences spread everywhere. Casino operations slowed, payment systems were disrupted, customer services became inconsistent, internal communications became difficult. The attack rapidly evolved from an IT problem into a full-scale business crisis. And because the incident involved one of the most recognizable brands in Las Vegas, the story immediately drew national attention. News outlets began covering the outage. Cybersecurity researchers started analyzing the attack. Questions spread across social media. How could a company this large be compromised so quickly? But perhaps the most alarming realization was this. The attackers may have gained initial access without exploiting sophisticated software vulnerabilities at all. Instead, they allegedly exploited human behavior. As investigations continued, reports linked the incident to ransomware-related activity. Ransomware attacks have become one of the most disruptive forms of cybercrime in the modern world. The strategy is brutally effective. Attackers infiltrate systems, steal sensitive information, encrypt infrastructure, then demand payment in exchange for restoring access or preventing data leaks. And organizations facing outages often encounter enormous pressure. Every hour systems remain offline can cost millions of dollars. Operations slow down. Public trust drops. Customers become frustrated. Stock prices can react. Executives face pressure from every direction. For companies operating massive real-time environments like casinos and hotels, downtime becomes especially damaging. Because unlike some industries, hospitality depends heavily on uninterrupted customer experience. Guests expect instant access, working payment systems, functional room keys, reliable reservations. When those systems collapse, the disruption becomes visible to everyone, and that visibility increases pressure on the organization even further. The MGM cyber attack became another reminder of how vulnerable modern organizations can be to social engineering. Not because companies ignore cybersecurity completely, but because defending against human manipulation is incredibly difficult. Employees answer calls every day. IT departments process account requests constantly. Support teams are trained to help people quickly. Attackers understand this. And increasingly, cybercriminal groups are focusing less on breaking through firewalls and more on manipulating the people behind them. That shift has changed cybersecurity dramatically. Today, some of the most dangerous attacks in the world begin with a phone call, a text message, an email, a fake login page. Simple actions capable of bypassing enormous amounts of technology. And as organizations continue expanding digitally, the number of possible entry points keeps growing. The MGM incident also demonstrated something larger. Cyber attacks no longer stay hidden quietly in the background. When major infrastructure or corporations are disrupted, the public feels it almost immediately. Guests locked out of rooms, businesses losing revenue, operations grinding to a halt. The effects become real very quickly. And as cybercriminal organizations continue evolving, companies around the world are being forced to ask an increasingly urgent question. In a world where one convincing conversation can trigger massive disruption, how secure are modern systems really? If you enjoyed this breakdown of the MGM cyber attack, subscribe for more deep dives into cybersecurity incidents, digital threats, and real-world hacking cases. Because in today's world, understanding cyber attacks is no longer optional. It's becoming essential.